The World Cup taught me something I wasn't expecting. Well, actually, I wasn't even expecting to watch the World Cup, and now I'm loving it. Have you ever had perspective smack you in the face? I think most people have, right? We think we know truth or what we think something really is. We're convinced of it sometimes. And then we experience something, hear a story, and all of a sudden it's like the light comes shining through and we have a new perspective. I've been so blown away by these video clips that I have seen of other people visiting the United States and just talking about it like it's the greatest place. And the sad thing is there's so many people living here who don't see it that way. Well, the United States is not perfect by any stretch, but dang, it's pretty awesome. I mean, being a first generation American on my mom's side, I don't know, maybe that's why I'm so patriotic. But my stepbrother, who became a US citizen when he was, I don't know, 20 something, he couldn't be more patriotic. It's so amazing to see different perspectives. And I think that happens sometimes. We get comfortable, we get complacent, we get spoiled, and we need a new perspective to help us see. So you're seeing these clips of people where this one that really kind of hit me was this guy, I think he was from Germany, and he said he was literally afraid to come to the US, afraid, because all he had seen in wherever he lives, whatever newscast he's seeing, is how dangerous it is. And of course, there are dangers. But, it was like, his perspective was he was scared, like people were going to be slaughtered in the streets or something. That's not what he said, but you get my point. And then he gets here, and all he finds are the most loving, generous, happy, nice people. And the fans are nice. And I mean, it's like here they are, and it's kindness and fun. I mean, sometimes it's dancing on bars. But they found real people, down to earth people. Oh, and they also discovered ranch dressing. It totally cracks me up. Like they think this is the best thing in the world, this Hidden Valley Ranch, I think. So they're literally like, packing it up and taking it home. And I'm thinking, oh, they should learn about Uncle Dan's. That's real ranch dressing. But that's another subject. You get my point, though? I mean, how often do we do that same thing in our own lives? Fear makes us believe things that may not be true. Fear keeps us from going somewhere. Fear could have kept that young man from coming to the United States, right? I mean, he could have just thought, no. I mean, why would I go there? This place, it's too dangerous. But instead, he obviously put aside his fear and decided that he would go anyway. And I'll bet you he'll be talking for the rest of his life about how he didn't allow that fear to keep him from an experience that is probably going to be talked about for the rest of his life. So, this is why I love stories. And I'm not talking about, there's enough negative stories and bad stories. And, especially nowadays, my gosh, I don't I'm not talking about the ones that create fear, the news, the fear mongering, the ones that create division. I'm talking about the real stories, the story like the guy from Germany. There's been a couple of the guys from Germany actually that have been kind of become popular videos. But I mean, don't you love the kind of stories like that of overcoming? Okay, so maybe he didn't overcome some big old obstacle like, being born blind or something like that. But still, that was a real, true fear. And we do the same thing. And I really do think that it is fear at the core of so many things that keep us from maybe taking that trip somewhere, or maybe it keeps us from living out a dream. Like, I mean, look what I'm doing. I mean, I'm 64 right now, my friends, and I have created these Love-A-Do's adventures, and we have so many plans for a board game and cards and just all sorts of things. And of course, there's some fear involved. Heck yes. This is something different than I've done before. However, in a way, it's the same because the universal messages are about courage, about self-worth, about, taking chances, about digging down and realizing your value and your worth. And imagine if I'd just been too afraid to do it. So I really think that sometimes we just need a little perspective, right? We need to see something from a different angle. So, I've talked before about Colonel Sanders, who, his whole Kentucky Fried Chicken thing happened in his 60s. And there are many other examples like this. And the other day I was saying something like, gee, I kind of wish I would have started this a lot earlier. This is, harder at this time of life. And, it's not like I've won the lottery or anything. Like, I mean, I don't have a bunch of money to put toward it. And my husband said, yeah, well, you know what? Neither had Colonel Sanders. I can't remember exactly what we were talking about, but, he made that, how they throw that back in your face, the things that you've said. But anyway, you get the point. Sometimes we need a perspective, but that helped, right? I heard that perspective and I thought, yep, that's right. If one person can do it, then so can I. So I don't know. I guess I've always been that kind of person that, picks out the story, that finds the nugget. So I hope if you're watching the World Cup or you're just going through your life, that look for the nuggets, look for those inspiring stories, look for those perspectives that you hadn't expected. I mean, if nothing else, even though I'm enjoying watching this World Cup, if nothing else, I'm glad I did, literally just for that one snippet that I came across where somebody said they were afraid and they found out it was nothing like their fear. Isn't that amazing? Maybe you could do that too. And maybe one day you'll be packing bottles of ranch dressing or something like it in your suitcase.